Now this story. A U.S. Coast Guard cutter that was conducting patrols in the Pacific Ocean was denied entry to a port in the Solomon Islands, and that is now raising concerns about China's growing influence in the area. Let's bring in Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican from Tennessee. Great to see you this morning, Senator. How big of a concern is this?
This is always a concern. And when you see the way the Chinese Communist Party is going into the Solomon Islands, you know, Ashley, one of the things I found out from being there on the ground, visiting with the Prime Minister, is while the leadership in the Solomon Islands is willing to go along with the Chinese Communist Party and some of their Belt and Road Initiative or debt diplomacy, the people of the Solomons are not. They are very religious. They are very freedom-oriented. There is an active opposition to what the Prime Minister and the leaders are doing. And the preferred partner by the people of the Solomon Islands is the United States, not the Chinese Communist Party, who brings them inferior products or does inferior construction, doing it with Chinese labor, not working with the people of the Solomons to build the items that they are building there on the island.
You know, Senator, you just returned from a trip to Taiwan. You called the island an independent nation. Was part of your trip designed to make a statement?
What we are doing is working toward protecting the Pacific Island nations, Taiwan included, from the Chinese Communist Party's aggression. You know, their intent on being globally dominant by the time we get to the midpoint of the century. They have been very aggressive in how they have chosen to move forward in the last 18 months. That's of concern to us. But when we look at Taiwan, we have to realize that this is a nation that had declared their independence. They have a founder of the country. They have a constitution, a president, a cabinet, a military. They value their independence. They share our goals of democracy and freedom and diplomacy, and they seek to have more ties with the United States and Western nations, and that's a good thing. We need them as our ally, and they are a strong ally indeed.
Want to come back to this country. Senator Bernie Sanders claims that Democrats have a reasonable chance, he says, to retain control of the Senate. Listen to this.
I think there is a reasonable chance the Democrats will retain control over the Senate. I certainly hope we get more than 50 in the Senate, that we get at least 52, so we can start going forward and protecting working people in a way we have not been able to do up to now.
Senator, what do you say? There's these people now, I say people, the pundits, saying it's going to go from a red wave, which was predicted in the midterms, to a red ripple. What are your thoughts?
You know, pundits always have their opinion, and I find it very interesting each election cycle. But when I'm across here in Tennessee talking to people or talking with people from other states, inflation is a top issue. The open border is a primary concern, crime in the streets. And, you know, Ashley, those are all issues that have been brought to you by the Democrat Party, and people know that. And looking at the polling this weekend with the Democrats claiming that they are pushing forward, that polling did not reflect that. It shows Republican candidates for these Senate seats still holding their lead in these competitive states.
Well, we'll leave it right there, but great to see you, Senator Marsha Blackburn. Thank you
Good to see
for
you.
Chatting with us today.